Think about the color red, the smell of coffee, the ache of a broken heart. You experience these things. That inner subjective world is your consciousness. But what exactly is this consciousness? Is it merely a series of electrical signals firing off in your brain, or could there be something more? Could our thoughts, feelings, and sense of self transcend the physical realm? This question forms the basis of the mind-body problem, a complex issue that has intrigued thinkers for centuries. This is the age-old mind-body problem, and it's one of the most exciting and terrifying questions in modern metaphysics. Let's start with the classic idea, dualism. This school of thought, championed by philosopher René Descartes, holds that the mind and body are fundamentally different entities. The body, it argues, is physical, occupying space, having mass, and obeying the laws of physics. The mind, on the other hand, is non-physical. It's a realm where thoughts, feelings, and consciousness reside. Now picture this, the body is a car, and the mind, its driver. If the car breaks down, the driver still exists, right? That's the allure of dualism. It presents a possibility of an immortal soul or consciousness that persists beyond the demise of our physical shell. But then we hit a roadblock. How does an intangible mind control a tangible body? How can a thought, devoid of mass, trigger your hand to move? How does one bridge the gap between a non-physical mind and a physical body and make them interact? This conundrum, known as the problem of causal interaction, is the tallest hurdle dualism has to scale. This is called the problem of causal interaction, and it's dualism's biggest hurdle. Enter monism, the view that everything is made of just one kind of substance. The most popular version today is materialism, or physicalism. Materialism takes a bold stand, stating, forget about a non-physical mind. Everything that exists as physical matter. Your consciousness? It's nothing more than your brain in action, a complex symphony of neurons firing off signals. Consider this, when you see the color red, your brain lights up in specific areas. A scientist scanning your brain would see activity corresponding exactly to your experience of seeing red. To a materialist, that's the whole story. The brain activity is the experience. What's more, this view is backed by a wealth of scientific evidence. When you damage a part of the brain, the corresponding mental function is impaired or lost. This suggests a deep, necessary link between brain function and mental experience. But while materialism is a compelling theory, it's not without its challenges. It faces what is known as the hard problem of consciousness. How do electrical signals and chemical reactions translate into the subjective feeling of seeing red, or the taste of your morning coffee? We can explain the function of the brain, the mechanics of perception, but the subjective feeling, the experience, remains elusive. This gap, this disconnect between physical processes and subjective experience is what philosophers call qualia. It's the subjective aspect of consciousness, and it remains the biggest challenge for physicalism. This gap, what philosophers call qualia, remains the biggest challenge for physicalism. The rise of artificial intelligence has thrown a new twist into this ancient debate. As we plunge deeper into the digital age, we're left wondering, could an AI ever develop a consciousness akin to ours? If we can create machines that learn, adapt, and even create, what's to stop them from developing an intersubjective world? The line between the mind and the brain blurs even more. This brings us to the simulation hypothesis, a modern twist to the mind-body problem. This theory suggests that we might be living in an elaborate digital simulation, much like a video game. If this is true, it brings forth a curious question. Is our consciousness just a result of complex coding? This idea, while it may sound like science fiction, is taken seriously by many scientists and philosophers. Moreover, the simulation hypothesis opens up a new possibility for AI. If our reality is a simulation, then an AI could potentially be coded with a form of consciousness. It's a wild thought, isn't it? The exploration of consciousness, whether it resides in a human brain or a silicon chip, remains one of the most baffling questions in science and philosophy. The debate between dualism and materialism continues, now complicated by the intriguing possibilities offered by AI and the simulation hypothesis. So next time you ponder the mysteries of your mind, remember, the question isn't just philosophical, it's also at the cutting edge of science and technology.